Welcome to your next tutorial. Now, in real life, when you're playing a game, you will want to add items to an inventory and also delete items to the inventory. Basically because in a game, a player can find new items, a new weapon, or a new magical item, or money, or whatever you'd like. They will find items in the inventory and have to add them to their inventory. Also, you'll need to delete items. If it's money, for example, they might buy something to level up, and the money will have to be reduced from their inventory, or cash. So let's see how to do that. Now, there is more than one way to do this, and some ways are better than others, but for now I'm going to show you a very simple to understand and easy way to do this. However, do feel free to look on the internet for other methods of doing this, as there are quite a few ways of doing this. Let's start with a really simple way of doing it though. So, as before, I've made an inventory, and don't forget it's the name, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't have to be inventory, it can be something else. An equal sign, square bracket, and because these are a string, so some text, I've got speech marks, a comma to separate the different items, and ending with a square bracket. Now I'm just printing out the inventory in a very simple way. Now this line of code is the interesting one. What I'm basically doing here, I'm saving over the original inventory list. So what happens is, originally it contains 2 items. I then save over that list with only 1 item, so effectively an item is removed. Now let's check the code, see if this works. Here we go. So we start off with a sword and a dagger, and then we end up with only a sword. So it works perfectly. So that's an easy way to delete. So how do you add to it? Well, let's have a look. You might be able to work this out already, but if I just copy and paste some code like this, and then, I don't know, let's add a third one. Let's go crazy here. And, I don't know, let's have a shield. There we go. And now, if I just, a bit naughty, copy and paste again. Here we go. Control V. And run my code. So what we should get, if this code is working, first it should print out sword and dagger. Then it should just print out sword. And then the third line, it should print out sword, dagger, and shield. Let's see. Here we go. Perfect. The code works beautifully. Now, if we wanted to work this into a real game, we'd add a few print lines, for example, and probably some if statements, to be fair. So, for example, if I put a space in here, I could put a print line in saying, you find a shield, would you like to pick it up? Let's have a look at that. You find a shield. There we go. And it's a good idea to always put in what you want the person to answer. So I'm going to put yes or no. There we go. So now I can hit enter to get a new line, and I can put an if statement in saying if, back a step, naughty, nearly forgot something. So we need to put the variable in first. Answer equals input. And as you can see, I've made the variable to store the answer to this, and input is a little inbuilt function that will get whatever the user enters in here and stores it in the variable answer. So now I can do the if statement. So if answer is double equals, remember, in Python to check if something is equal to something else, you have to use double equals. I can put yes, like so, colon, hit enter. Now I can then put a little tab here, and that now means, just going to neaten that up a little bit, there we go. That now means that if they answer yes, we make the inventory bigger by adding the shield item, and then we can print inventory again. Seeing as it's late and I'm being lazy, I'm just going to copy and paste some code here. Control V, print inventory. So if they answer yes, it will get added. However, if they don't say yes, the inventory will, at the moment, only consist of sword. I'm actually going to get rid of these two lines just to make the code a bit clearer. There we go. So, this is what the code's doing. We're starting off with an inventory containing a sword and a dagger only. We print to the screen with this line here what's in the inventory. We then make a print statement asking them if they'd like to pick up a shield. We store their answer in a variable that we've called answer using equals input, open and close brackets. We've now made an if statement checking the contents of the variable, which, if you remember, is like a little box in memory. We've used double equals to check if what's in the variable is equal to yes. As it's a string, we've got it in speech marks. We've put a colon in, which then gives us the correct indentation. And we're then printing the inventory. Okay, and the last line here, this will run whatever happens. So it will print the inventory if they answer no or anything other than yes. But these two lines will only run if the person says yes. Let's have a look at that. Here we go. Right, so I've got a sword and a dagger. Would I like to pick the shield up? Well, I'm going to press no. And as you can see, I've still only got the sword and the dagger. Let's run that again. Right, so this time I'm going to say, yes, I would like to pick it up. And it prints out sword, dagger, and shield, and then sword, dagger, and shield again. Now you may wonder why. It's doing that because the last line of code I've got, it isn't indented, and it will run whatever happens. So let's just polish that code slightly, make it a little bit better. I can put an else in here, like so, put the colon in, hit enter. Now this is going to work more nicely, because now, if the answer is equal to yes, it will print the new larger inventory. Else, if the answer is anything other than yes, it will print the inventory without the dagger, without the shield added. Let's run it and see if this works. Here we go. Right, so I'm going to put no in this time. I've still only got the sword and the dagger. Now, moment of truth. Let's enter yes and check our code. Always check your code several times. Here we go. Perfect. The code now works beautifully. If I answer yes, it prints sword, dagger, and shield, but only the ones. What I'd like you to do now is have a go at this. Just test it out. Get the code working as you can see above. Then try changing the inventory items, making perhaps a larger inventory list, adding some items, even adding some print lines saying, would you like to put an item down? And then printing a new inventory with less items in. Have a go at it, play with the code, see what we can come up with. See you soon. Bye for now.